Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Cheek, and today we'll be building a business plan for a 100% online startup company. Now, you remember, no idea, no money, no problem. So startup costs for this we'll use it in fixed costs, we approximately $29.95 per month. That'll be the only cost. We're going to give yourself a salary, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the pro forma. But this will $29.95 will be your total cost starting this business. Let's start off first by looking at traditional business plans. Now, many people have their CPAs or pay a CPA. Others may pay an attorney to do this business plan, which I think is a bad idea because you're the one involved and you need to be able to answer these questions. And later on, when a banker or an investor asks you questions, how'd you come up with that number? If you had someone else doing it, you don't really know. So regardless, for the traditional business plan, these are all the components, and you do most of them, and then you do the financial planning, which is called a pro forma, expected performance of the company. Now, this is usually month by month for the first year, in summary for years 2, 3, and some people extend it out as far as 5 years. But once again, it's a brand new startup business. You don't have any historical costs or revenues to base this on. This is just all based on your projections. A digital business is different. There's two components, the executive summary and a pro forma. And in this case, with a digital startup business, you're going to do the executive summary first because you've got to answer these questions to yourself. These are the things that you have to feel comfortable in before you spend your time on this project, because you have to understand the most valuable thing you have in your life is your personal time. And if you're going to spend it on this, then you need to make sure you answer these questions. Pro forma, we'll do that in our next video podcast, discuss the pro forma. But the pro forma, people talk about writing on the back of the napkin, let's see if it works. I'll give you a template that you can use forever in your future if you want to, on looking at deals and see if they work. That's deals you put together, it might be deals that you're being offered. So once again, today's video podcast is focused strictly on the executive summary. What's the components? What's the very first thing you do? On the executive summary, you need to answer all of these questions. Let me be a little specific. When you build your executive summary, number it 1, the hook, and answer the questions. Number 2, the problem, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. You don't have to restate the question all over again. 3, the solution, 3.1, 2, 3, etc. That's all you have to do. Go through and clearly tell me in each one of these what you're doing and make sure that you have a clear aspect on what you're doing. So let's look at the deliverables for this assignment. Label your answers 1 through 7, using only the title, then explain the answers. Just use a few sentences. I don't want to read a whole bunch of malarkey. Answer the questions. Let me see that you have a firm grasp on what you're doing. So that's not important. Just make certain that you've completely answered each question. Use Time Roman 12-point fonts and single spaced. If you play games that put bigger than single space, I won't look at it very fondly. And as you go through this, if you have any questions at all, when in doubt, reach out to me. And what I'll do is I'll put a forum underneath. I'll post this video podcast. I'll send it to you individually, but I'll also post a video podcast on the Moodle site. And then I'll post a forum. I encourage you to go there and ask your questions. If you're having a problem, others are also having that problem. Moving forward, I'll be posting a video in the next few days on building a pro forma site for a 100% online startup. That's going to be a little more involved, but I'll be putting it out there in the next few days so that you'll have that and you'll understand what I'm looking for in a pro forma. And after you go through over this, I'll have a webinar date set up, and maybe I'll send you a poll and see what would be a time when you could meet. Maybe it's Saturday mornings, maybe it's Saturday afternoons, because if you're working or things are going on in your lives, whatever, we'll find a time that works for everyone. So that's all for today. When it's the final product's a couple of weeks off, the final paper is a couple of weeks off, but you need to start thinking about it and start doing it now. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thanks again, and have a good day. Take care and be safe. Dr. Cheek out for today.